And you're listening to Live from the Path. My name is Ben Foose. Thanks for joining us this evening. It's a balmy, pretty, lovely evening here in the Live from the Path studios. Yeah, there you go. Hey, man. I feel like I've been on the list. What's that, Wayne? The LSD? They don't call it that anymore, but I feel all fired up. Hey, so thanks for joining us on Live from the Path. We're here every Monday night from 10 to midnight here at livefromthepath.org, and I'm excited. We got a great show for you. Saved on Sundays back in the studio. Yeah. Woo! Hey, fellas.
Sorry.
How you doing?
Okay, good. I'm telling you. Here's what we need.
I'm waiting for that.
Now, how big time do we have to be before? Oh man,
before the microphones work. Oh,
we got all kinds of.
We had a great show planned,
man.
And it's going downhill quick.
I feel it. Anyway,
and that's a wrap.
How big time do you think we have to be before we get a makeup artist in here?
I think we have a few at the church. We could probably talk him into it.
Now, what constitutes a makeup artist?
Just a guy in a pencil.
Okay.
Face painters. Can I get a little kitten whiskers, please?
I want the Raleigh fingers. Set me up.
So I'm thinking. Gene
Do you get that
Simmons
joke,
tonight.
Dan? You get that Raleigh fingers joke?
I have no clue.
He just laughed to make you feel good, man.
Raleigh Fingers, the baseball player with the big mustache?
Oh.
That's your era. No. Yeah, it's old
So
people.
what are you saying, man?
All right, so anyway, Saved on Sundays in the studio. We're going to catch up with those guys. Lots of a really busy summer for them. They got a lot of cool stuff going on. Just coming out of the Bash on the Farm. New album, just on the cusp of making its way into the world. Yes. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to get some tunes from them and see what's going on in their lives. Also, we got some advice. People need some advice, Mike. Oh, man, stuff is really falling apart in the Jewish community, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to help with that.
We're here to fix it.
We are on week number 5 of disputing the GodIsImaginary.com 50 proofs that God is imaginary, and we're on week 5, so we're going to walk through that and see if we can come to some kind of agreement. This week, his proof number 5 is: have you actually read the Bible? God is a monster. Yeah. So we'll look at his examples. We'll see where he's coming from and see if we can kind of address that particular proof. Also, Christians hate Christian TV, and so new study out. So we're gonna talk about that.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna see where that opinion comes from. Why we got problems? Who said that? Like, what's Christian TV? Give me an example.
God TV.
Yeah,
like
the station.
They're blocked.
Like the gospel.
TBN.
The Gospel Network. Yeah. Hey, now hold on a minute. I saw. Who did I see? I saw a rerun of Jimmy Swaggart
on the TBN once, and I laughed so hard in years.
I was gonna say, I only turn them on when I really want to feel corny and feel bad about myself.
He seemed pretty broken up
I'm on
about
their
something. Like I believe he was crying and weeping and wiping his face with dollar bills, and then it was something.
I'd like to do that.
Wiping his face with dollar bills.
But he was very upset. Very upset.
I'm sure.
It seemed to be a problem that he said my money could fix.
I was going to say, is that about 9:27? I will begin weeping, pan in.
Speaking of, do you see the Crystal Cathedral got sold to the Roman Catholics, and they're renaming it the Jesus Cathedral.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is
Okay, that's at least a better direction, is it not?
yeah. Although they paid like $18.5 million for it. Here's the thing: from God's money to God's money, $18.5 million. You know what I'm saying? That seems outrageous to me. Like they built a huge building out of God's money, wasted it, and then when someone else who wants to serve Jesus there wants to have it, they sold it to him for $18.5 million.
I think they had some debt. The window washing on the thing is millions a year.
See,
It's pricey.
I always figured if it's easy for me to say this, I have nothing to give. But I always figured if I have a building and I need to get rid of it, and it's a church, and it's going to go to a church, it'd be like, here you go, here's the keys.
Yeah, thank you.
It's not my money.
Thank you for serving
It's
Jesus.
not my building.
Yeah.
My name's not out there. If it is, I should take it off.
the Dan Church of Christ.
It's Dan's church.
We had such a solid worship plan.
Come worship me, please, and then you can wash my feet.
All right, anyway, you're listening to Live from the Path. Hey, we're just coming off. It was on Saturday night. We were at the Jeff Arendale broadcast. He is a CD release party for Not Here For Me, and it was out at the Green Grounds.
That was good.
It was pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeff did a sweet job. So here's the deal. He's got a bunch of guys from like Nashville who picked him up. That's how we got the thing recorded.
Yep.
And so we recorded this thing, and the recording quality was abysmal. I mean, it was bad.
Terrible.
It had it was like Max Headroom's type. We had to broadcast in such a low quality because we were borrowing the internet feed from the coffee shop where like 50 other people like posting pictures of themselves, taking pictures of themselves on the Facebook back by the can. So like,
show.
yeah,
It's just you. You're just not even you standing in front of Arendale. It's just you at your table. Here I am. Like anybody can tell where you're at.
Dog face and everything.
People are ridiculous.
So anyway, so that we had to broadcast in such low quality to keep the thing going. The audio was good, the video was bad, and he told me, he goes, I said, look, man, I took that video down and reposted the one that we actually recorded because the quality was way better. And he goes, yeah, the guys from Nashville looked at it yesterday and said it was fine. I'm like, oh, they didn't even watch it. There's no way they looked at it. It looks like somebody threw up on the screen. And so come to find out, they did say it was janky, and but the audio was good.
Oh yeah.
But I thought I really like ruined it for his Nashville guys. Boy, that's a low rent radio show you got yourself attached with.
You're out.
Yeah. All right. So anyway,
It's like we had any chance of gaining a good name anywhere anyway.
Yeah,
you know?
that's fair,
I mean,
yeah.
seriously.
Live from the wood. All right. So anyway, so that was the Jeff Arendale show, and I would encourage you to go out to jeffarendale.com, learn a little bit more about him, and I think his music is not out there, but you can sign up for his blog, and eventually you'll be able to buy the stuff.
Yeah, I checked. It's still not on iTunes. See, we seem to have a problem with bands not putting their crap on iTunes.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't understand.
Speaking of bands who
Still-
can't seem to get their stuff on the iTunes, let's talk to Saved on Sunday.
What's going on?
Mr. Brown, it's good to have you guys back in here.
Thank you.
So all right, let's go all Oprah on it. Tell me about this album, Daniel Brown.
All right, this album has been a nightmare. Okay, we recorded it last July. It's an acoustic album. Clint and I, Sean Herrick and Aiden Johnson played on the album last July. Then we've just been having a lot of problems with it being a double album.
That's like a
that
year
really
ago, right?
complicated it. Yeah.
I'm just trying to do the math.
Yes, and it really complicated getting the album out. So we ended up cutting some songs and getting it down to one disc, which is 19 songs instead of 24. And anyway, we got all the artwork. We're about $75 from ordering it.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a heavy night of pizza eating. That's all you need.
Well, we need to
$75
do
worth of pizza.
a call-a-thon, dial-a-thon tonight.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
We don't have a phone.
We don't have a phone.
or
Chat.
pizza.
People rock the chat.
Chat in your money.
Should we solicit donations from the chat? We've tried that before and we got laughter.
We couldn't even get cinnamon rolls.
No. $75 though. But that'll put out a double album. That's not just a single action album, right?
Oh, we actually cut 5 songs. It was a 24-song deal. We cut 5 that we didn't like. And
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
what's that?
To cut a song and say you don't like it.
Yeah.
Were they your own tunes?
Yeah.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We're not putting out junk. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, fellas.
So we cut the
Wait a
weak
minute.
stuff that
Wait a
nobody.
minute. You're
'cause-
saying you're put out junk.
No,
We-
they
and
kept
then you
junk.
cut it.
No,
we
they kept
recorded
junk for
and
themselves.
we're like, that's junkier than this.
I don't create junk. I don't
Damn.
know why you do.
Dan, that's not true. You looked at that shirt and thought, yeah, this is suitable for public.
I bought this at the Sam's Club.
That's because Sam didn't want it at his place. He's like, woman, you got to get rid of them shirts.
Well, there's always that CD. You know, you're listening to it and you're like, I'm gonna skip this one. So we took 5 songs. People were just like,
You know, that's true. People don't often put out album-minded or like full listening scale albums anymore. They
Right.
pick out the 2 or 3 and they're like, well, then they just turn in a bunch of junk.
yeah, just filler songs.
Yeah.
And we got about 3 good songs on the
Well,
CD.
now let me ask you this: did you guys do it, or did you have somebody else listen to it? Because I think you have a clouded vision. Of,
Both.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was in
Zinger.
charge of
Good
that
one,
advice.
Dan.
Well, I'm just saying. You get kind of clouded. Oh, this is a good one. It's like, that's crap.
Right.
That's junk.
I love this one. Nobody else does.
I actually think that is tough to have gone in and recorded something you actually put time into, something that you wrote, and to like even have someone out there and listen to it. Like that says something about your willingness to be filtered. Because I would agree, especially you put a lot of work into something you record, and you're like, oh man, I don't want to let it go. So anyway, awesome.
Yeah.
I feel that way when Roloff has technical problems with the show. You know, he's like, your video's blippy. I'm like, whatever, Roloff.
We don't put out junk.
Yeah, whatever. Our video looks solid, and it doesn't. It looks terrible. You know, it's junk.
Well, cool. So I'm excited. I've heard bits and pieces of the power outage.
Yeah, you guys were all up on my case. So I emailed all 3 of you all the tracks.
Yep.
Bonus.
Well, all the new tracks. I didn't send you the covers. We have 12 new songs. We ended up cutting one, so we have 11 new songs, and then we got 8 cover songs from the first 2 albums that we just covered acoustic.
Can you send us the ones that you cut? Because someday
I do.
Oh, we will actually. I'm
yeah.
thinking about doing something with that.
I was
Like, be
thinking we're gonna
like,
be all famous
hey,
for, like-
want to hear what we didn't even want to put out?
Yeah,
Because you're a hardcore fan.
I bet you Michael Jackson, he's selling big ones now that
Because
never
he's dead.
made it.
So we should die.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I just put it in
This
storage.
thing took a fierce turn.
Send us your stuff.
Dan,
What-
why you got to be so rough on the guests?
God can do what he wants. Just send us your stuff.
I mean, you yell at them for the songs they cut, and then you want them to turn into Jackson.
We always joke about that within the band. That you get way more famous once you're dead. People are like, "Yeah, I'm a huge fan."
That was great.
That's
So-
true.
So Clint's always like, "Okay, we're gonna get a hit single, and I'm gonna kill you." And
I think that's fair.
And I'll be the guy who survived. I'm carrying on the legacy.
Daniel Brown was a genius in his own day.
Yeah.
He'll be missed.
Nobody liked the Apostle Paul. I'm just saying.
right,
His star has grown with ages.
I'm following Apollos.
Screw this. Apollos is the man. You're listening to Live from the Path. We were in studio with Saved on Sunday. I tell you what, let's get some tunes in.
Oh, yeah.
What's the first one you guys gonna do?
I think we're gonna play one off the new CD. It's called Through the Fray. If you want to cue up, if you guys can't see it, but we've got a new band member, and it is Toshiba. We actually play the bass from the laptop, so it's cool. Clint plays lead and bass, so he's gonna cue that up. This is a worship song I wrote. Well, I don't know if I'd necessarily call it a worship song. It's a song I wrote to the Lord. I was in a kind of a distant spot, and I was driving to the East Coast for my best friend's wedding, and I wrote this song as a call out to the Lord, and it's called Through the Fray. Maybe go this way. There we go. Yeah,
This is Through the Fray.
Through the Fray.
Saved on Sunday. You're listening to Live from the Path.
I'm getting in keyboard, buddy.
Mike, entertain the folks.
So here's the deal. What's that? Oh man, my microphone's not working. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So anyway,
I fixed it.
all right, Live from the Path.
Through the Fray.
Through
need you more and more every day. And I said, take my hand and lead me over troubled waters and troubled times. Pick me up, Lord, draw me closer. I need a friend, Lord, I need a sign. And I can never comprehend this love you give to me. It's more than a friend, it's greater than a brother. And I just want to raise you up for all the world to see. I just want to take this light you give and shine it on. Take my hand and lead me over troubled waters and troubled times. Draw me closer. I need a friend, and Lord, I need a sign. And I can never comprehend this love you give to me. It's more than a friend, it's greater than a brother. And I just want to raise you up for all the world to see. I just want to take this light you give and shine it on. I could never comprehend this love you give to me. It's more than a friend, it's greater than a brother. And I just want to raise you up for all the world to see. I just want to take this light you give and shine it on. I love you more the more I meet you. The more you lead me through the fray. Through the fray.
Hey man, that's an epic. It is an epic. It's got like a lighter candle type operation to it.
Totally. We encourage anybody who's downloaded the Useless app on their phone that's a lighter.
Oh,
You guys seen
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
You can do this, and we encourage that at the live show.
I think that's awesome.
Because there's not a whole lot of like opportunities you have to use that app. So
No, that's true.
Right.
That's true. Unless you're a no, I can't think of any reason at all.
I like that. They had a nice little mellow sound to it, a nice little message, and it was just kind of, I like that song.
thank you.
I feel like
Thank you.
that ooh part. I mean, that's something where you could get if you set it up right, you could do some kind of massive
You
instrumentation.
need a choir or ladies.
That's what I'm saying. They
They can
definitely
just
need a lady.
like you're playing that thing, and all of a sudden a big group of folks come like rolling in.
Oh no! Here,
Guy's got a flugelhorn on him.
Now hang on. Yeah, you need a French horn. You need at least 3 ladies, and you need a Hammond organ, and it'll run the whole thing. The whole. Yeah. Oh.
Get a black choir.
Oh man, it'll be sweet.
Yeah.
So you say you were kind of in a distant place when you wrote this. Was this kind of like a one of those deep contemplation? I'm driving. I'm a long way from home, and I'm kind of feeling distant from God. And man, He's awesome. I probably ought to get back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what I was feeling.
That's exactly
I
it,
don't want to
yeah.
state the obvious, but
Right.
like what you already said in the song. But
Yeah.
it's very rare that I actually get a song, so these guys can attest to that.
Pound it.
These guys are like, "What do you think of the song, Dan?" Like
I don't
Fruit
know.
Loops, the crunchy.
So is how'd you go with this one on the album? Is it more of an acoustic feel, or is it full on instrumentation? What was the choice here?
Well, I played piano.
Uh-huh.
Not this awesome Yamaha piece. I
No
brought
doubt.
here. So,
That's sweet.
but yeah, we went with acoustic guitars, drum set, and the whole thing. It's full instrumentation. Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah,
it's
I
produced.
I
It's
really
great.
dig on that one. All right. Well,
Check it out. I sent it to you.
Well, I thought. See, now here's what I did: is I listened to like 3 or 4 of them, and then I sent them here, and thought that I would be playing them in before the show, and then I broke a bunch of stuff, and I didn't get to listen to the rest.
And it happens. Every time we do some kind of mobile operation, that happens. We take all the stuff out, and then we're like, well, let's revamp the studio. And then we move stuff around, and then the next Monday it tanks. It always tanks.
It's in big trouble. Anyway, hey, man, that was Saved on Sunday. You're listening to Live from the Path. Saved on Sunday has joined us in studio, hanging out in, let's call it pre-promotion for the Power Outage album. That is, I mean, 8 pizzas away from coming in.
8 pizzas.
Coming home.
I like it.
Like, I don't know, fast.
Now, not 8 hot and readies. You're gonna have to do 8 big tomatoes.
No, how many hot and readies is that? What do you say, $75?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's 15 hot and readies.
15 hot and readies.
yeah. We're gonna get it ordered this week. So
Awesome.
yeah, we're getting that. We're getting 1,000 copies of the album.
Are you
We're
getting
also
a-
getting 11 by 17 posters.
Yeah,
So
sweet.
we're
Nice.
working. We're waiting on we took a photo shoot 2 weeks ago, and we're waiting on getting those photos back. Our photographer Amanda Moe, she posted a teaser today, and it was awesome. So I'm really excited.
Now,
about it.
I saw that picture of you guys. It looked like on a parking garage, and
Yeah,
like
we're
the
on
Travelers was in the back, and the 81 Grand's on the other side. That's a sweet photo.
Thank you. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
so we're really excited about getting the rest back. So
You know that we're gonna ask for a poster, right?
sure, man, definitely.
Yes!
I'd love to have you
Put it up on a wall.
We need stuff
Yeah,
on
we
the
need
wall.
stuff on the walls.
Well, we're gonna be an outlet for people too. If you give us a handful of CDs, we'll sell them for you.
You bet.
You can send people here.
That'd be
Okay.
nice. Yeah.
Now hold on a minute. This is Dan's grand scheme. I don't know.
I've got a plan.
Okay. Okay.
I like it.
I'm excited. Let's see how.
Wait, we'll give you all the money. We don't need anything for it. I mean, we're not.
Oh, it's all good, man.
Yeah.
I'd
So,
love to have them here.
let me,
We have 1,000 copies. I mean, that'll
No,
last
it's-
a while.
No way, man. They're gonna fly off the shelf.
Okay.
Hot and ready, saved on Sunday. That's what's gonna happen. So you guys have got a heck of a summer. So you're just
Yeah.
coming off the Bash on the Farm, right?
Yeah, we just got done with Bash. That was a lot of fun.
So is this your first year there? Or have you been on there before?
We were there in 2010. We weren't there last year, but they got new grounds this year, and they're now in Forest City. They used to be in Garner, and the stages are a lot nicer. It's a lot more spacious, and it was a lot of fun. So we were actually supposed to play on Saturday, and True Serva from Minnesota
Yeah.
asked to trade us spots because he had a wedding he had to be at a Friday. So we switched him spots. So we got a really nice stage time, and it was a lot of fun. It was cool.
So let's talk a little bit about your instrumentation, because since the last time you guys have been here, you just look a little different. So in case
Yeah.
you didn't catch it, what Daniel was talking about earlier, so you were playing keys on that one, Clint's on guitar, Nathaniel's over there beating on the skins, and then you got a computer bass man,
Yeah.
which is Clint,
Which is
basically.
Clint, yeah.
And then
Clint's a sweet bass player, so we load all of our bass tracks because we're 3-piece, and so we rock 2 guitars usually live. If I play a keyboard, I'll step aside and play a keyboard. But we got Nathach on drums, Cheese Man, and I play guitar.
The
and he
Cheese
plays-
Man?
The Cheese Man.
Cheese man.
Cheese Man.
Why do you call him the cheese man?
I don't know.
That's cool.
It works though.
It just kind of stuck.
I'm for it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Want some cheese with
I can
that?
see T-shirts for that.
Pass the cheese, man.
Okay. All right. Well, so I mean, how's that been? It's kind of a unique setup.
Yeah.
Has it been? When I think 3-piece, I usually don't think drop the bass man.
Yeah, true.
That's usually not the first thing that goes. I mean, pretty
Hey, that's
smooth.
coming from a bass player.
Yeah, sorry. I usually
You
don't.
can't drop the bass.
We brought a bass for you tonight, actually.
I will rock
And I brought
out.
the keyboard.
I will rock out with it. Yes. So I mean, pretty smooth. I'm just interested, like pretty smooth
Yeah.
transition going into this no bass man thing.
Yeah, we really like where we're at right now. It's really working out. Our bass player's awesome. He never misses a note.
True.
And but
He's real sensitive about the outlet situation.
Acoustic gigs. No.
but Nathaniel's rocking drums, and we're getting a lot of compliments, and so that it's really been working out. We're really excited about our 3-piece gig. So
Cool. So,
Yeah.
so what do you got coming up? So we said you had Bash on the Farm. You're here tonight. You're at Spirit Midwest coming up in August, right?
yeah, we're Spearmint West.
So anything else in the middle there that
Yeah,
people
we
can come
got-
out and check out?
we're doing what's that? Nathaniel is better on all this. We got the June 30th Mississippi River Fest that we're doing. That's in Burlington, Iowa.
What do they celebrate the river?
I guess.
That sounds weird.
It's kind of pagan.
Been there a long time.
kind of big.
Kind of all the bands that we know
It's a
are
little
kinda playing
Babylonian.
there. Pierce in the Darkness is going to be there. Syndrome's headlining it.
I feel like you got sucked into this this river worship. I mean, it just sounds
Powerful, man.
They could call it Jesus River or something.
I like it.
Yeah, that's weird.
So we're going to do that, and then we play there that afternoon, and then we're going to Washington. And we got, what's the other one called? Promised Land Fest.
That's right. We're going to talk about that. That's pretty exciting.
that sounds Jesus.
I
Yeah.
talked to that guy on the phone within the last few weeks, and he's got a pretty cool story with how that whole thing came about. So I'll give you some more information about the Promised Land Fest. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's the last week of July. That's the week just prior to the Spirit Midwest Music
Yeah.
Festival.
And July is really busy for us. Actually, we're in North Dakota. We're in Missouri. We're in South Dakota. We're in. Yeah, we got about a week and a half.
I feel like you're just naming states.
I don't think
Rhode
there's anybody
Island.
in North Dakota.
New Mexico.
Those are 7 people
Washington
in North Dakota.
State.
We'll play at a
It's
rest
not
stop.
like we know the difference, right? You come in here and claim that you're going on some kind of 50-state tour, and we'll be like, "Oh yeah, New Jersey, sure. That's an awesome place to go."
I've heard of that place.
Stay off the turnpike.
They got rivers there.
So let's talk about this multi-state stuff. So, like, is it primary churches, primary festivals, or like a little bit of everything?
In Missouri, we're playing. A church is having a revival. We're gonna come in and play a concert first night, and then we're gonna be playing praise and worship, and they're gonna be using our sound system for a few nights. Then we're going to North Dakota. We're playing a college up there with Clara Jarrett. She hooked us up. She's watching. Hey, Clara.
All right.
And then we're playing another place there, and we're going to South Dakota for some churches, mainly youth churches events.
Would you be interested in doing a Bible rodeo camp?
Yes,
Heck yeah.
Let's call that guy.
We know a guy.
for real.
Yeah, Missouri.
Nice, man.
He does. What was it? It was coming to wolf hunt.
No, it was a coyote hunt.
Yeah, coyote
Yeah,
hunt.
yeah.
Have you heard of this? Where they now when he told the story, he made it sound like it was like a 20 by 20 foot pin, and there was a bunch of coyotes running around in it. But really, it's like 2,000 acres, and then you hide by a tree and you watch a coyote go by, and then there's some kind of gambling involved with it. Like you guess how many times he's gonna go by, and however many goes by first is like big money. I couldn't catch head or tail of it. He called a city and then stopped talking about it. But,
Yeah, I haven't had someone refer to me as city before, but that's what he did.
He said, "You guys are real city," which was, I don't know. I wasn't offended, but it didn't sound like a compliment.
I don't think you meant that positively.
Yeah.
No, that's
But anyway, I think you guys could totally rock this donkey rodeo farm.
I like it. Donkey Rodeo Farm.
Well, he has a donkey there. In fact, you have to ride the donkeys to do security. Everybody else is on a horse.
Yeah. So like,
Which seems kind of anticlimactic. Like, what if someone comes in and robs you on a horse, and all you have is a donkey? I'm fairly certain a horse can outrun a donkey.
you can't. Like I said, you can't catch him.
Yeah. I mean, what's a donkey do? Like, butt into you? I mean, what's his big defense?
unless you're behind him, I think you
Mean
got
kid.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Donkey rodeo, hook it up.
I'll call him.
It pays very little.
I'll call him. It pays very little.
Listen to Live from the Path. We were in studio with Saved on Sunday, and so SavedOnSundayBand.com is the website. Still good? Still solid website?
Yeah, it's there. We're getting it revamped here very soon once we get our pictures in.
I feel
Still
like-
got old members on it, so we're gonna update. But all the links and everything are good.
You could crudely just put an X over a couple of guys.
Not classy.
Okay, no, I understand.
Love you, Sean.
Take a guy with the tie knows better than I do about class.
Now, are you going to use two different pictures for Clint or the same for both? Like bass, Clint, guitar. I mean, Clint. Are you going to use the same guy? Or are you
How many people know the difference? Bass players.
That's true.
Guitar player.
That's true. That's true. Maybe we should make him look left-handed on the other one.
All right.
Like you have two different guys.
Just inverse it.
I like this computer thing. I
That's
think,
I think it's that's exactly what I thought. I thought, what instrument did they get rid of? And then they're like, there's no bass, man. Seriously, what are they doing over there? You know? But it's seamless.
I changed
Like,
my
you can't even tell.
I changed my middle name to Expendable, thinking that might happen to me at some point. They call me Ben Expendable Foost.
Yeah, that's expensive to change the birth certificate, but well worth it.
Nathaniel's solid on the click, so it's really worked out. So, and he's got these headphones. Like he just pounds himself with the click. So,
Nice.
Do you ever sit at home sweating it out, going 3, 4, yes, got it, 3, 4.
I
Damn,
nailed that
Nathaniel, put it together. No one makes fun of the cheese man.
It's going to get awkward when him and the bass guy have a falling out.
He's sitting there looking at the computer, going, "Your drug use has become a problem."
Who's got a virus? Again.
I told you to stay out of that web chat.
Take care of yourself. You're a weird dude. All right, you're listening to Live from the Path. We're in studio with Saved on Sunday. You can find more information about them by going to savedonsundayBand.com. Links out there. It has all their upcoming dates. You can get pictures of some of the dudes that are still there. No crude X's. As soon as they get some fresh pictures, they're going to put them up. You're going to see a revamp out there.
That's cool.
That's too bad too, because I thought those pictures looked good.
They did,
I thought
yeah.
that was a nice set of. You guys are. I tell you what, you guys are top notch on the pictures. Now that I think about
thanks.
it.
Yeah, go to our Facebook page, Amanda Moe Photography. She just put up a like page. She's really great and she's really affordable. So if you guys are out looking for some pictures,
We need some promo pictures.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
I think we've tried to put our face on stuff before, and it's really taken a tank.
so we're
We
really
had the
excited
wrong
about getting those
photographer.
out.
I think so. Anyway, the website's head out to the website. You can pick out past CDs. You can sign up for a newsletter and stuff. All kinds of cool stuff hanging
All
out
that
there.
jazz.
SavedOnSundayBand.com.
And we're working on we're still old school with the Facebook thing. We're working on transitioning over to an actual band page.
Okay.
So our website still links to like the regular person, like Saved on Sunday, like we could chat you from it.
Yep.
But look for the page, like just search Saved on Sunday and like the page. It would help us out a lot.
Okay.
All right, that sounds
So-
good. All right, hey,
I came in with a surprise.
Oh.
Maybe we can do something during the break and set this up. But you guys are blues musicians.
yes,
And I have just learned this not too long ago. And so
Okay.
we brought a bass and a keyboard, and I wrote a blues song called Live from the Path. And I was hoping maybe
this
we
sounds
could put something together during the break, and
Okay.
we could jam out a little bit.
I love the sound of this.
This is the best idea.
It's
I've
going to be
ever had.
awesome.
Yep.
You sure we need?
I listened to you guys' music. Holy crap, that was awesome.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, we had good sound guys. and
A great computer.
and a guest keyboard player. It turns out Stevie Wonder wasn't busy.
Okay, this is exciting.
This
Yeah.
is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, we're just going to play some 1-4-5 blues, and
Okay.
yeah, it'll be cool.
All right. So we'll shoot for a break probably around around 10 to 11, and we'll come back right around 11 o'clock
With
and
some
we'll see if we
blues
can whip that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet blues action from the Saved on Sunday folks. And
Dan, you going to sing?
Absolutely not.
yeah.
Hey, Dan decided this is his month to make good decisions. Let's what do you think? You want to throw one advice thing out there?
let's do one. Hey, so here's the deal: is people need help, Mike.
Yeah.
People. Times are rough. I mean, money's short. People are getting rough with each other. Families are disintegrating, and doggone it, they need some advice. And so they come to us and they say, "Live from the Path. I just need some help. Let's help them."
Here's what they said. This seems odd that they've come to us being they're a Jewish family, but we don't seem like the good people to bounce it off of. But here we
We
go.
turn no one
Hey,
away.
I said times are tough.
Dear Live from the Path, my husband and I recently moved to a new area and are becoming friendly with the people in the neighborhood. My husband works as an education director for the local synagogue, and because he's in this field, we have agreed to keep our new home a kosher home and follow the strict rules of kashrut. Kashrut? Anyway, seems like a Jewish thing.
Just say it quickly. No one will know.
Clint looks like he might know. No? No, okay. No, I'm out too.
Okay, we will. Here it is. We will allow no food in the house that has not been prepared in a kosher kitchen using food approved by the Orthodox Union. Those seem like some nasty fellows you don't want to run into in a back alley. My question is, if people decide to stop to introduce themselves and bring something homemade as a welcoming gesture, how do I politely and tactfully decline their gift if they do not keep a kosher kitchen? Please help me.
Oh, man. I'm going to have a hard time answering this.
Is there any way that you can take this situation and put it in terms that we can relate to?
Yes, you sponsor a neighborhood movie night at your place and have a bunch of people over, and someone brings over that something got dirties in it. How do you tactfully decline? Same.
Pretty close, I'd say.
I suppose that is pretty good.
Okay. So, like, as you're opening up your house to your community, you want to have a movie night, try to sponsor people getting together, getting to know each other,
And he says,
and you rotate who brings the movies, and some schizo brings some kind of what is like it.
He brings boogie nights.
Yeah, he brings boogie nights.
Okay, let's.
My first reaction was, well, if they're trying not to cause a rift, which seems to be the issue, just accept the food, say thank you, and then throw it away, and then a week later give them their thing back. Or you could do the more direct approach so it doesn't happen in the future. Say, hey, just so you know, explain what kosher means. I mean, most people would accept that. I don't think anybody would be too offended and think you're really weird. If I had a Jewish neighbor and I brought over some, sausage egg McMuffins or something, and they go, hey, we just don't do that.
Fairly insensitive.
Yeah.
I know. I would say, I am so sorry. I'm excuse me for my ignorance. I will eat them myself.
Nice.
You know what? This is not a problem.
Because I didn't want to give them to you anyway. My wife made me. And then you go on. I think it's just communications always works. That's in the movie thing. That's what I would do. I say, hey, you know what? Guess what? We have some pretty high standards for movies in our home.
Yeah, that's gonna go over well. Hey, you reprobate.
You can watch whatever you want at your house. In our house, we just don't watch it.
In our house,
No,
we don't
thank you.
watch-
I'm a Christian.
Yeah, that kind of filth. I don't know.
I don't think that's a big deal.
Our producer does that as a pretty good joke. You'll offer him like some crackers and be like, "No, thank you. I'm a Christian."
Oh,
What?
what?
Just like this stupid stuff.
What does that mean?
I think the movie
Heath
thing.
Bar? I don't think so.
I think the movie thing's harder than the food thing.
Well, but, here's the
Because
problem
he's
with that.
intending on watching it with you.
The issue, and this probably comes off as a food thing too, is that type of decline, depending where they're coming from, they're going to take it as a judgment. It's religious based. You're saying no either because you don't eat the food because of your religion, or you're not watching a certain thing because of your religion. Yeah. And someone who has a predilection to coming from that perspective is going to be offended as if you were pharisaical and cutting them off.
Yeah, you have to word it carefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep the attention on. I have chosen not to do this, and I realize those are real popular. I hear it's a really great movie. We're going to make our own movie right now, so you can go watch that movie. I don't know.
We're going to make our own movie.
So, what movies are inappropriate at your place?
At our place?
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have that high a standard.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying. I don't know what this boogie nights you speak of is.
Well, let's just say he came over and goes, "Hey, there's dirties in it."
Like I mean, we don't do the nudity stuff, but I also don't.
It's not like. Oh, I'm sorry. We only watch Facing the Giants in this house
Oh,
every night.
No, and after most Christian movies we don't watch them either.
Okay.
We also have a quality issue.
Right.
There's a process.
Dude, come on, that's some class acting.
I guess we don't do any type of horror type.
Mm-hmm.
Just because usually, especially if it's in the spiritual sense, it's
Yeah.
usually closer to true than what people
Yeah.
think. And
Yeah.
we just taught our children, hey, guess what? It's real.
Right.
Stay away from it. Paranormal, no.
Yeah,
thanks.
right.
And so I got a lot of good friends who do watch it.
Sure.
And I figure that's up to them. That's
Right.
So I don't. Mike and Ben, they're trying to make their own paranormal video.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I had this idea for a sitcom called Ghost Dan, where where he was a dad and then he died and then he hung around his.
That was
kids.
Bill Cosby.
Oh right.
You saw that one? They use Essie in that one.
they dropped the Essie.
I did drop HBO a few months ago now, because I was kind of enjoying True Blood. I thought it was kind of fun, and they got some stuff I can just fast forward through
Sure.
and say okay, because it's got pretty raunchy at times.
Right.
It's just needless raunchy stuff. But they were so overtly pushing the homosexual issue. I thought,
Yeah.
you know what, I don't need that, and I
Yeah.
certainly don't need to pay you
Right.
to give it to me. And so I told them that when I called this, I don't, whatever. Because they finally asked why, and I said, I just don't need the whole gay thing thrown down me like
Right.
that, And they're like, oh, and
Yeah.
I said, I don't know what that meant.
Do you guys have Netflix?
Yeah.
Dude, fun thing to do. Just watch independent, like low budget films.
Yeah.
It's a great time. I watched one. It was called Thanksgiving, and it was about a turkey that kills people every 400 years on Thanksgiving.
Oh, at least he has a
It
little
was
break.
awesome.
Yeah,
He's controlled. I feel like he's all right.
I think it's unrealistic. What
That's
keeps
like
them
that
alive?
movie. What was that really cheap movie of like a bunch of sheep that went berserk? They had some and they go around eating people.
That was a biblical story.
No, it's like some cheap movie that I don't know what it was. It was like one of those flipping the channel. He's like, what is this?
Okay.
All right, let's get to secular advice here.
Okay. Wait, so what was our advice? Just straight up tell him.
Yeah, just say, look, I'm yeah, no thanks.
Hey,
And then
sorry.
just shut the door.
Yeah. Yeah, shut it.
Hi,
You
welcome to the
sinner.
neighborhood. I made you brownies. Thank you.
We're kosher.
We don't speak to you type of people.
Yeah, we don't do that here. It says, secular says, smile at your food-bearing neighbor and say, thank you. We keep a kosher home and want to know if you do too. If the
What?
answer,
Yeah, that's
Obviously
gonna,
not.
that's gonna work.
Oh, because they don't know if it's kosher.
okay.
Yeah.
If the answer is no, explain that while it looks delicious and you appreciate the gesture, you can't accept the food because of your strict observance of your religion. I feel like she doesn't live in the same world I live in, you know? I feel secular lives in some kind of weird, lofty world where people talk like that. Listen, I keep a kosher home. I wonder if you do.
Wait, does anything come across as more pharisaical than I don't eat that because of the strict observance of my religion?
Yeah, really.
I think I think it's difficult. I think it's. I mean, the food thing's difficult because I wouldn't adhere to a weird food standard anyway. Like, I mean, maybe I would on a. The same question might be someone brings over something that's like extra sugary or whatever. Something
Well,
I wouldn't normally
I-
give my kids,
I-
and generally I'll tolerate that to an extent.
Well,
Things
let's say
I
let's say
wouldn't
that
feed
you're on
them.
a fast for some reason. Let's just put there. That's
Yeah.
that's in. You know, let's say you
Yeah.
decided you were going to fast for some reason, and people bring food over to you. You know, you're like, I'd really love to take it, but I'm on a fast. You know what a fast is? And they're like, no. Well, here's the deal. Here's what. It might be a good witnessing technique. for you.
Right.
I don't know. You're going to grab anybody to Orthodox, no food eating Judaism, but you could certainly get people to Christianity with fasting. Experience.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on board. I think straight up. Just tell them what the deal is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they're close enough to bring you food, right? It's not like some random guy.
They're just welcoming you. Like, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. Here's some Polish sausage.
You bring some
I'll be
weird
the
stuff,
best
Dad.
neighbor in the world,
Egg
dude.
McMuffins and Polish sausages. This is what you're giving the neighborhood.
That which leads to a story from me. I guess there was in Des Moines there was a help feed the poor families day, and the postman comes around with a bag of groceries,
Yeah.
and you're supposed to give them groceries. This is my first time living in Des Moines in the city, so postman just comes up and puts a bag of groceries on my deck and walks away. I was like, hey guys, postman gave us groceries. So we dug into the groceries, man. There was like these little boxes of cereals. I'm like dumping it and eating it and stuff. Then just, knock on the door, and I bailed out the back. I'm like, I don't know, something's wrong happening. They're like, yeah, that was for poor families.
Wait a minute, so what-
And so Double J is just standing there, like sitting there eating the cereal from the. It was awkward, but.
Yeah, how do you explain that?
I don't know.
That's awesome.
And our neighbor was like walking around our yard, like all up in our business. Like, they stole the groceries.
I don't know what you're supposed to do, man. Someone's leaving food on your doorstep.
Right?
I mean,
You need a little
you
explanation.
can't be expected to know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Not everyone reads the Des Moines Connection
Right.
newsletter.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It just
exactly.
dumps groceries on my deck.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
sweet,
somebody
thanks.
dumps a puppy on my doorstep, I'm taking it.
Right.
I don't know about that. All right. Hey, you're listening live from the Path. We're in studio with Saved on Sunday. I tell you what, let's do another tune, and then we'll hit a break, and then we'll come back with some mystery blues action.
All right.
What do you got for us next?
We'll do "He Is Worthy." You were playing that on the during the break and whatnot. So, this song's called "He Is Worthy." Toshiba ready? Yeah. Take my heart, Lord, and take my life. Take my foolish and selfish pride. Take my heart, my soul, my mind. Take me and Lord, never go away, away, away. We say, oh, 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 we're singing praises to my one Redeemer, who was and is to come. Glory to the Lamb who was slain. He's He's God's one and only Son. He's worthy. He's worthy of my love. Of my love. Take my heart, Lord, and take my life. Take my foolish, selfish pride. Take my heart, my soul, my mind. Take me in, Lord, and never go away. Away. Don't go away. We say, oh, oh, oh. We're singing praises to my one Redeemer, who was and is to come. We sing glory to the Lamb who was slain. He's God's one and only Son. He's worthy. He's worthy of my love. Of my love. We're singing praises to my one Redeemer, who was and is to come. Glory to the Lamb who was slain. He's God's one and only Son, and He is worthy. He is worthy. My God is worthy. He is worthy of my love. My love. He's worthy.
All right, you were listening to Live from the Path. That was Saved on Sunday. He is worthy. Very, very cool. You can check them out again at savedonsundayband.com. Find more information about them, the dates they got coming up. Sign up for the newsletter by pick up some tunes and keep an eye out for that Power Outage album coming out.
Yeah, we'll make some big announcements. We're going to put together a release party once they come.
Sweet.
So I don't know where we're going to host it, but it'll be kind of a chill acoustic night where people can come in and be like, hey, play this song or whatever.
I'll bring the hot and readies.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah. That sounded awesome. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come right back with you, and Saved on Sundays put together a Live from the Past blues tune. Me and Mike are gonna jump in on this deal, and we're gonna see how it goes. So we'll be right back. You are listening to Live from the Path.
All I know is I want to be in your will. You are for me and no one is greater. No, no, no. Trial after trial, you're with me still. And I know I am justified. Because my Lord was crucified. My body will be glorified. And it'll be for eternity. Yeah, it's God's great certainty.
And you're back.
We're back.
You're listening to Live from the Path. Here broadcasting at livefromthepath.org every Monday night from 10 to midnight. Thanks for joining us here on the chat. All right, so we got this song put together. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be killer. I like it.
It's a blues number.
It is.
It's about Live from the Path.
I couldn't help myself, man. You guys were like, yeah, come on. And so I just threw some, whatever lyrics together because it's blues. It doesn't matter a whole lot.
I'm gonna do
And just jam.
I'm gonna do a Lady Echo. Live from the path now. I'm gonna add Lady Echo.
Nice.
Dan, you do Lady Echo. I'll be busy.
I'm going to be busy.
I'll be busy listening.
Hey, let Dan run free.
You got it, Dan. You can run free. All right, well let's do this thing. This is Live from the Path blues action, and you're listening to Live from the Path.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Live from the path now, yeah. Oh, we're live from the path now. Take a seat and tune on in. Yeah, we're live from the path now with your host, Dan, Mike, and Ben. Oh, we're live from the path now. Tell your family, tell a friend. Live from the pipe now, every Monday at 9 at 10. Yeah, we're live from the pipe now, talking God and sometimes sin. Honest faith and a fear of grace, maybe it's donkeys every now and again. I'll play one for us, man, yeah. Now, give it a go, baby, give it a spin. Yeah, we're live from the pipe now. No need of dark, just come on in. I'll take one, Clint, yeah. Oh, here we go. Now, every Monday at 9 and 10. Yes, we're live from the pipe now, talking God and we're talking sin. On his face and a fierce grace, maybe donkeys every now and again. I'll play that donkey blues, yeah.
It feels kind of self-indulgent to clap because I was playing, but I feel like I should.
That was awesome.
Because everyone else was playing too. So awesome! That was a good time, fellas. I liked it.
How about
We
when
can do
you
it again
guys
to close the
play
show.
something
How about
like
that?
ever?
Yeah, I feel like we should change our theme song because we're not paying for it.
Do that.
And this one's kind of free, you know.
Yeah.
All right, hey, you're listening to Live from the Path.
We're gonna do a seat switch. Ready?
Okay, ready to
We
go.
should do that again to close the show.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean,
We'll jam it out on the way out. Chat, thanks for hanging out.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Any comments on the chat on that?
Yeah, they enjoyed it.
Nice.
They primarily are concerned whether Dan's playing the tambourine or not. That was kind of the big question.
It's kind of a hidden tambourine.
It's because we slammed the tambourine so hard a couple. Yep. I think that was the problem. All right. Well, hey, that was awesome. That was awesome. Thanks for bringing that in here. We'll that's a good idea. We'll end the show with it.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll hit the thing on the way out. All right. You're listening live from the Pathway Studio with Saved on Sunday, and we are just hanging out here in the Pathway Studios, going about our crazy business. Hey, so I tell you what. Let's get to our proof. So, Mike, go and give him an introduction here of what we're doing.
I'd really like to.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Secular Solomon tonight?
No. So we are in the middle of 50 days of GodIsImaginary.com. We there's a guy who's got 50 proofs out there that God is imaginary. We've gone through the first 4. We're number 5. Proof number 5, and basically we're just talking about them. Like, this is obviously, whether I find them valid or not, it is a perspective that people have, and frankly that people can subscribe to. And so you people are providing these things as evidence that God is not real, and we should be able to. The Bible should be able to answer it for itself. God should be able to provide answers where He wants to, and as folks that are claiming or that are following Christ, I should be able to provide an answer, as James says, for the hope that we have. And so we're walking through these proofs. This week we are on number 5. And proof number 5 is simply titled "Read the Bible." And so here's this is kind of a long one. I'm gonna try to summarize it as I go. Okay, so here we go. Here's how we start. So imagine that we are good friends. One day we are talking. I say, "Wow, you will not believe this new book I've been reading." You say, "What's it about?" Say, "It's a manual for living a better life. It is also a guide for creating a better society for ourselves and for our children. It has changed my life." Wow, that sounds like an important book. Who wrote it? Well, the author is supposed to be the smartest person in the universe. You say, "That's amazing. If the author is the smartest person in the universe, the book must be absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to see it. Do you have a copy?" Absolutely. I carry it with me everywhere I go. Here, have a look for yourself. And you open the book to a random page, and you find the following. "Consecrate yourselves, therefore, and be holy, for I am the Lord your God. Keep my statutes and observe them. I am the Lord. I sanctify you. All who curse father or mother shall be put to death. Having cursed father or mother, their blood is upon them." Space. "If a man commits adultery with the wife of his neighbor, both the adulterer and the adulteress shall be put to death. If a man lies with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall be put to death. If a man lies with a male as with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall be put to death." You are not quite sure what to say. You look at me for a moment. You say, "I thought you said this was written by the most intelligent person in the world. If we are going to follow what this author says, we have to kill half the people in America. We're supposed to kill everyone who has cursed his father or mother, everyone who's committed adultery, and every homosexual." And I say, "Well, that's in the Old Testament, you see. The book is really 2 books, and the old part doesn't really apply." "Are you saying that the smartest person in the universe once wanted us to kill every adulterer and homosexual, but then changed his mind? That somehow makes it better, if the old part no longer applies?" "Well, parts do apply. Didn't you just tell me that it doesn't apply?" That's where we're at so far.
Oh, man. This guy's convoluted.
Here we go. You open the book to another page talking about how to handle when you buy a male Hebrew slave. He shall serve for 6 years, but in the 7th you shall let him go. When a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. Whoever strikes a person mortally shall be put to death. If it was not premeditated, but came about by an act of God, then I'll appoint for you a place where the killer may flee. Whoever strikes a father or mother shall be put to death. Whoever kidnaps a person shall be put to death. When people quarrel, if they other with a stone or a fist, so the injured party, though not dead, is confined to a bed, that's a put to death. Slave owner strikes a male or female slave with a rod. Slave dies immediately. Owner shall be punished. Here we go. Explanation. Again, you are dumbfounded. Here the author of the book is advocating slavery, the branding of slaves, the wholesale beating of slaves. You're not quite sure what to say. You say, "You have to be kidding me. Here the smartest person in the universe is telling us that slavery is okay and that we are free to beat our slaves." You open the book to another random page, and you find, "I desire then that in every place the men should pray, lifting up holy hands, and the women shall dress themselves modestly and decently in suitable clothing, not with hair braided gold. Let a woman learn in silence with full submission." And you say, "Is this some kind of joke? This is totally sexist." In America, there are millions of female teachers, and we have women throughout our corporate and government hierarchies. No intelligent person believes that the woman should be silenced. Also, if you are a scientist, it gets even worse. It starts with the very first line. "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." That's not true. "In the beginning, a natural event created the universe." Blah, 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 blah. Ask yourself this simple question. Why, when you read the Bible, are you not left in awe? Why doesn't a book written by an omniscient being leave you with a sense of wonder and amazement? If you're reading a book written by the all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving creator of the universe, wouldn't you expect to be stunned by the brilliance, the clarity, and wisdom of the author? Would you not expect each page to intoxicate you with its incredible prose and its spectacular insight? Yet when we open the Bible and actually read it, we find it is nothing like that at all.
In fact, instead of leaving us in awe, it leaves us dumbfounded by all the nonsense and backwardness that it contains. If you read what it actually says, you find that the Bible is ridiculous. The reason why the Bible contains so much nonsense is because God is imaginary. The Bible is a book written thousands of years ago by primitive men. A book that advocates senseless murder, slavery, and the oppression of women has no place in our society today. Proof number 5, read the Bible. Mike.
Actually, I disagree on his big point there. Like, when you read it, you should feel awe-inspired and crazed at his greatness. And I kind of feel that way when I read it, for different reasons. You know, like we're still hashing through Ezekiel, and I'm like, man, God is mad. Yeah. He is mad, and he's gone through a very lengthy explanation on how upset he is and how it's gonna go down. And he created dudes with wheels for legs with eyes on it, and they don't turn; they just float wheels. I'm still trying to I'm awed by that. I'm like, why so many eyes on the wheels, God? You know.
Actually, I've looked in like 3 or 4 different commentaries, and all basically say the following phrase: "This image is difficult to discern."
Yeah, no doubt. And what appeared to have 4 faces. One was an eagle, one was a lion, one was a human face,
And an ox.
and one was an ox.
I think it's the guy with the tattoo. That's what I think, but I'm just throwing it out there.
I think the Holy Spirit was hard on Ezekiel and dropped him a little harder than he ought, and he was dumbfounded. This is the same wheeled creature I saw at the other place. Here's the deal: like when he's reading it, he's taking it out of. It's very similar to how a lot of Christians take the pro out of context. He's taking the cons out of context, right? Like, and he hit just about every heavy issue that we have that you butt into society about, and I don't know if that's worth a show's worth a piece, you know, but like that slavery issue. Most people back in the day are slaves because they didn't pay a debt. You know, it wasn't like forced, unpaid, you know, beaten, dragged into ship slavery like you're thinking. They either submitted to slavery because they couldn't afford their debt, or they actually gave themselves up to slavery because they didn't have anything else to do.
Much like someone today might take a credit card and charge up a bunch of money and becoming a slave to Visa. Except God said, guess what? Instead of being a slave the rest of your life, we're going to cut it off at a certain point and give you freedom. That sounds pretty oppressive.
Yeah, I don't know. Like has he read the tail end of Job? Like, you know, I tell the waters where to stop. I'm like, man, who gets to do that? You know, like I mean, this natural event just kind of surfaces. I don't know, like you know, we get into some weird science there, but like I don't know how they ever get past the fact that they're like, it's a natural occurring event from nothing. You know, like the nothing had to come from somewhere. It makes way more sense to me that an all-powerful, omniscient God came out of not being able to understand time. And, you know, here's a mysterious God that I don't fully understand. I can put my belief in that easier than I can 2 things came from nothing, collided, and made stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like that makes more sense to me. But
So what's the broad? So let's say you have this guy sitting in front of you, and he just laid all of this out for you. Aside from tackling each issue one by one, can you summarize broadly what the mistake is? What's the mistake? He's quoted a bunch of scripture
out of context.
Is that the big mistake?
And he's trying to define God with his human intelligence. And wait for it, the Bible. Dang it!
You're back on.
Dang it! The Bible is God's living word and speaks to people how it speaks to people and speaks through in certain situations. I don't know about the slavery thing. Doesn't usually a whammo, but I don't know.
Well, I'll sum up. Dan, where are you at?
My first thought as I read through it this afternoon, and I kind of thought about it like it's kind of like I'm in a room full of musicians here, right? Okay, I'm not a musician. I'm just this guy who appreciates music. Okay, if you guys hear a song that just hits everything perfectly, you know, the vocals just hit this sweet thing, and all the instruments are just doing the right thing at the right time, you're going to have a higher appreciation for it because you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you understand music, you understand the language of music, you understand the art of music, you understand everything. I look at it and say, oh, that was cool. What's the next one?
Right.
I'll appreciate it or I won't. Okay, this guy is looking at the Bible with no appreciation for it in the first place, but he has no concept for what it really is, how it's put together, how it is written, the things that we bring into it as Christ followers who say and understand and believe this is the Word of God in print for us. We read it with a whole different appreciation than a guy who's saying, I don't believe in God, and I'm going to use this word to prove he isn't true. So that's his first thing. He just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Just like if I'm trying to analyze the next song, I'm like, well, I kind of like the way these words rhymed. But your guys looking at me, you have no clue.
You are a goathead.
That's why. Notice they never ask me, "What did you think of that song, Dan?" Because I'm like, oh, hey, I just don't. I like it, sure, but I don't get it like they do. That's his issue. He doesn't have the ability to get it because he just can't see it. And then all the things you mentioned is out of context. There are things thrown in that if he would have taken the time to understand why that was written, there was actually a really good reason why that was written. And would you have to kill half the people in America? Yeah, you probably would. But if they had followed that ahead of time, they wouldn't be doing this stuff they're doing now. Their lives wouldn't be falling apart. Their marriages wouldn't be falling apart. Their children wouldn't.
Well,
be
it's
messed.
funny what they're like even with those specific things of what they choose to ignore. Like one of them was any man who sleeps with his stepdaughter should be put to death. Oh, how ghastly! How why would you not like a man like that?
You should sleep with anything you want.
Seriously, but then they're like,
maybe you shouldn't.
But the adultery he finds acceptable.
Yeah.
He's like, well, if I cheat on my wife, that doesn't seem to be any big deal.
So for me, that actually sums up, I think, the broad mistake is he has taken. It is a him as God perspective, right?
Right.
My mind, my thoughts, my opinions, my culture is the God. Anything that does not match up with that obviously is archaic and irrational, right?
Truth
like if I take
is how I
is what I
world.
personally perceive. So like if I look around at my culture today, and here's the following things that we find acceptable. Anything that is any culture or any book or any direction that does not find that acceptable, obviously has not evolved to my position yet, which means that it is archaic. It was written by primitive men who don't understand the world correctly. And so it's really a value placement. It's assuming that everybody that came, this is actually broad, and it's not specific to Christianity either, but it assumes that everybody that came before you was dumber than you. Right?
Which is ridiculous.
It's outrageous. Like just because a guy didn't fly in an airplane 300 years ago doesn't mean that guy was dumber than you. Right? It assumes that people are dumber than you. Is that your moral concepts have obviously evolved from people going on. It is an elitist attitude, and again, it's not Christian specific, although that tends to be the biggest target because that is the biggest moral institute. That sits on the books anywhere. And so his biggest mistake is a pride mistake, right? Now, the fallout from that pride is many, many other things, but it's a pride mistake that says the things that I think, the culture that I'm in, the moral code that I follow, all are better than anything that came before it. I have evolved beyond that. My thinking has evolved. Everything that I have, that I believe, that I think, that I do, obviously comes from a source of improvement over things that happened 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. And so, I am to set the standard as God, not anything else. That I think is the source of the biggest problem, is where he set the bar. He set the bar with an assumption that he is smarter than everyone that's come before him, is more moral than other people that have come before him, is more culturally understanding, is more acceptable, and that the human race is always evolving into something that's ultimately better. That's a bit of a biological mistake, because even if you follow a theory of evolution, for every supposed macro evolution that occurred, millions and millions of species would have died as part of the transition. And so this thought that you're not the weakest link is a little bit pompous. Yeah. And frankly doesn't line up. Even if you're on that branch of the science, doesn't make sense. If one out of millions and millions is the one that actually is the right combination to continue to go, you're not likely it, right? But you're the guy that's got his hand in the flag in the sand saying, obviously I know I'm morally
Right,
superior,
this
I'm
evolution
intellectually
is-
superior.
This is the deal, mainly because I'm involved.
Yeah.
You know, like you can ignore all other facets and say evolution looks great from my perspective because I'm the strong one. You know,
Yeah.
as far as I know.
So for me it's a pride thing. I think his base issue is a pride thing, is an assumption about what that he is superior, the things that he thinks moral high ground is superior than everything that came before him. And the Bible is a logical target because it's the thing that tries to stake a moral thing in the sand and say this is how it's going to be, this is how you're to act. And if it's one God versus another, the God's going to puff up their chest. Now, our God doesn't have to because he knows where he sits, right? But if you're a false God, you puff up the chest. You start having people do wood statues of you and set you up places, right? Because you have nothing else going for you except for the lie. And so you puff up, you put up, and then eventually you shut up. He's just not in the shut up point yet.
It's kind of funny to me that I don't know. I can't remember what I was going to say. I had a great train of thought, Dan.
I'm sorry.
I lost it completely.
Yeah.
I don't sound as cool with this microphone.
I lose everything in this microphone.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
It's gone.
I don't know. Do we feel like we've adequately addressed proof number 5?
Well, at least we have come. We've kind of shed light on his motive. I mean,
here's the deal. Is the thing is I think guys like this cloud legitimate questions. You know, if you're reading through Deuteronomy and there's some stuff you're like, oh man, that just seems like harsh, man. We should be able to reconcile the character of God. I should be able to look at the whole counsel of his word and say, I recognize the consistent character of God in all these things and recognize the God of the New Testament is the same God in the Old Testament. These are not two different things. Jesus didn't eliminate the law, he fulfilled it. You know what I'm saying? So like it's not like he's annulling certain parts of God's character or that any part of the Old Testament was a mistake.
right.
Knowing that, we have to look at the Bible differently. You have to recognize that these are all aspects of God's character, and I need to be able to learn from that and recognize, like, when I fall back from something and think, man, I just don't know about that. Like, what am I to learn about God's character through this thing? Not, oh, maybe God's wrong, maybe God's false, maybe my whole world just crashed.
Right. He is just screaming his ignorance of the Bible by using the Bible. Like I said, just like me using something that I don't really know very well. I'm going to have a great conversation about nuclear, energy with someone who works in the field. I've read like the children's book, you know, and that's
I got the pamphlet at the front gate. I got the following question.
yeah. So look at this is silly. Look at this. They only put 7 foot of concrete. I mean,
Does everybody have to wear safety glasses?
It-
Oh, they do. Okay, yeah. That's kind of what I thought.
are you sure those are certified? I mean, that's really what he's doing.
It's funny the things that he's taking the the most the things that are bothering him the most, the basics, are the things that like I cling on to, right? Because it's God's character that generally shows me where I've gone astray. That he doesn't put up with the straying. Where I would be more likely to feel sorry for somebody and draw a line. Like I said, we're reading the book of Ezekiel, and man, after a while, you're like, man, you could stop killing people now, God. Seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
aren't you gonna forgive them? And he's like, no, they've had enough chances. I gave them every opportunity, and they hoard themselves out. I'm done. And I'm like, man, yeah, he loves just as much as he justifies. You know what I'm saying? Like God's justice is equal to God's love, and both are huge. His love is enough that he came down into the crappy world where everybody ignored him, died for us, and then went back, offered us easy grace, undeserved easy grace. And I'm like, and people read the New Testament like, this is a fantastic organization, and then you read the Old Testament like, the justice part's coming too.
Yeah.
We're living in grace, which is more than we deserve. But when the justice shows up, you'll be 10 times glad that you got the grace, because God's wrath is pretty fierce.
Yeah.
It's pretty fierce.
That's what this guy is missing, is that God demands holiness from us, but he also offers it to us. And when he missed that. He didn't get that. He's like, well, look at this. This isn't right. He's like, no, he gives you. I'm studying righteousness for next week. He makes us right. He makes us holy, as if we've never ever sinned before through his blood. And what an incredible gift that is. And he's like trying to deny all of it because he's like, this is a silly God. He doesn't get the whole picture. He doesn't get the concept of the Bible.
So, and here's ultimately, it's kind of a different tack on the deal, but like, ultimately, none of that's a proof that God is imaginary, right?
Right. I don't like what he says, therefore
Yeah, it's just a proof
he's
you don't
false.
agree with him. That's
Yeah,
all.
because like, let's say God was outrageous. He could be if he wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Now I say that it's not really true because I mean within his character, there's things that like he has limited himself to the extent of I'm not doing. I don't act like this because that's outside of my character. However, I mean, it's not relevant whether you agree with God or not. So we have this thing in our mind as if like, whoa, well, God's being unreasonable. God is the basis of reason, right? In and within himself. So like, if there is a party that is being unreasonable, it is never God. It is always you. And like, whether there is a God of the universe, if there's one that existed, he could be a tyrant. And that doesn't, just because you agree that he's a tyrant or you think he shouldn't be a tyrant, doesn't make him not God and not exist. It's like none of this is actually a proof, even on the basis I disagree with all of it. But I mean, it purports to be some kind of like proof that God doesn't exist, and it really is just a proof that you disagree with God on things.
Right, he's trying to say that the proof should be that no reasonable thinking God would not think like I think.
That's what I'm saying. We're back to the pride thing.
Yeah.
Me is God.
I'm the pinnacle.
Yeah. He doesn't exist because he doesn't agree with me. That's his problem.
And he's supposed to be smart.
He can't be real. I am God. If he doesn't fit my characteristics, he obviously can't be God and must not exist.
I could just see Jesus up in heaven going, well, I guess Steve is imaginary. Sorry, Steve.
I feel like I didn't create him imaginary. I don't know what happened there.
Silly man.
All right. So that's number 5. I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable. We took care of number 5.
That was interesting. It's a really Americanized thing too. It's like you don't agree with me. How dare you? It's just like, we're such a culture to where everything's okay. If I do this, it's okay because that's the way I do things.
Right. It's pre-approved cool by me.
my
Right.
proof.
Yeah. So it's just like, really kind of a selfish point of view, like you were saying. Like,
We
That's
taught this that we can all find our own truth and live
Yeah.
by it, and that's all okay.
Right.
We're all
tolerance.
on the same road,
Yeah.
going to the same place, which violates truth. So none of it makes sense. We're so messed up.
It's weird that from an American perspective, and I spiritually actually we're a fairly dangerous nation. Because I would agree to the extent that like other cultures, at least a lot of them, especially your Eastern and your African cultures and your Asian cultures, there is still a broad sense of hierarchy is not the right word, but like
Systems, like a
systems of responsibility / leadership, right? People that are responsible for homes, responsible for jobs. There's a level of mutual submission in those types of cultures, and the American version is I submit to nothing. I am no one is my boss. No one will tell me what to do. If it didn't come from me, like there's an inherent value of things that are poured out from me. And not really anybody else. I don't see that in other people, and it's a danger we have in a culture. I'm like, it makes for a free society to live in, but that means you're free to go to hell in any fashion you wish. Right. And frankly, that's what we're largely choosing to do because we have the freedom to do so. And it's weird that you look at some more oppressive cultures. There is some. I mean, there's wrong in those societies, but like there's something about people not elevating themselves that actually breeds some opportunity for following God in a healthy way because they're willing to put themselves under God. Like that's really the issue. I'm not concerned about people. I'm concerned about people willing to submit to God. And in a culture what says that I am God, you don't put yourself under anything or anybody, and that's God as well. And that's where we run into trouble.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that I read an article today, like with that almost that exact same frame of mind at modern day youth groups, like they tend to like there was the big youth reformation with the Youth for Christ and whatever back in like the 50s and 60s, and like they changed it to the fun small group style, get them in, and teach them that God loves them, and they've said that like over the years, like it's not only become the only youth group culture, but it's drugged like the main church body with it. So now our church services now look kind of like youth services looked like in the 50s and 60s, kind of hippie music, relaxed, laid back, and not like all those things are a bad thing, but like the offshoot of that is that they've that we're not producing near as many mature Christians. Like people who are who have a heart like God's heart is, that serve others. They're more like, I'm saved, all right. This is what Jesus has done for me, you know. And so they you're not pumping out the same style. I don't, you know, if your church does deacons or like elders or leadership, like not that that hierarchy is necessary, but you're just not. You're not seeing the maturity in a Christian belief. Because like when they grab you in the youth group setting, or like your service is geared towards seekers, you know, that no one ever gets any deeper than that anymore. You know, like they only get at the entry level Christianity, which is God died for you, right? Christ died for you, and so they accept it, and they're like, great, let's go find the place with the best tunes,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not like that's everybody, but like they're just finding it's just a huge shift. We just don't have maturity in believers anymore, where they're like, you know, they're God's heart oriented. You know, you start to lose self, and you start to go, hey, serve others. That, you know, this is the commandment I give you: serve others like I served you. You know, and you don't find it like you used to. And so the article is basically about, you know, some ways to try to be still culturally relevant, you know, to your youth group without citing ground to the culture. And that's tough. You know, that's tough. But you have to be. I think they're finding that kids respect honesty way more than we thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, you throw a bunch of cool, hip things at them, and you try to make God look like the culture, and they'll sniff it out. They'll be like, I don't know. You know, that's just not for me. But you try to make God look like God. God will define himself. What drew you to God, right? I'm drawn to God because God is who God is.
Right.
You know, there's no fancy dress or hip font that you could put on the title to make me think God is cooler. You know, like... Right. I know what I know about God because I read His Word, and He sounds pretty sweet to me.
Yeah.
And so I you know, sometimes I think they try to oversell it a little bit too much. You know.
Mm-hmm. All right, you're listening to Life in the Path. That was number 5 on our 50 proofs from GodIsImaginary.com. Next proof. This will be next week. Proof number 6 is ponder God's plan. This is interesting because we've had this conversation a few times about what I would say is a misuse of God's plan. So we'll see his. He's picking on Hitler, Rick Warren. Yeah, okay, this is going to be a good one.
He's all over the map.
Yeah, he's got. He's made the same article.
Nice.
So let's. That's next week. Proof number 6 is pondering God's plan on our 50-week journey on proving God is not imaginary.
So far, I think He's real. I haven't read all the proofs.
We're only 5 in, Mike. I don't no reason to get overconfident.
I'm steadfast.
I have not wavered.
All right, cool. Hey, we're also we're in studio with Saved on Sunday. And I tell you what, let's get another tune. What else you guys got?
Sure. We like I said on the new albums, it's an acoustic album, and we cover some of the stuff off the first 2. And this was on our second album, Revolution. I believe we've played it on here before. It's called Let It Shine.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't need Toshiba. That's cool. Take a rest, Toshiba.
Poor Toshiba.
That was Toshiba profanity.
Wah, wah. All right. To you, the proud, the few, I sing a song to honor you. Heard you gave your life down to and by side, hold your light up to the sky for all to see and burning bright. So let it shine. Let it shine. Won't you let it shine, shine, shine? Won't you let it shine? To you, the proud, the few, I sing a song to honor you. Heard you gave your life down to the one who gave it all to you. Oh, to you, the proud, the few, who walk with faith and not by sight. Hold your light up to the sky for all to see and burning bright. So let it shine. won't you let it shine? Won't you let it shine, shine, shine? Won't you let it shine? Let it shine. To you, the proud, the few, I sing the song to honor you. Heard you gave your life down to the one who gave it all to you. You, the proud, the few, who walk by faith and not by sight. Hold your light up to the sky. We're on the sea and burning bright. So let it shine. Won't you let it shine, Lord? Won't you let it shine, shine, shine? Won't you let it shine? Go let it shine. Won't you let it shine? Won't you let it shine, shine, shine? Won't you let it shine? Won't you let it shine, shine, shine? Won't you let it shine? Won't you let it shine, shine, shine? Won't you let it shine? Let it shine. Let it shine. Thanks, man.
All right, Chet says it sounds great.
That was one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I would agree. That is one of
Thank
my
you.
favorites.
It makes me want to break things.
Oh yeah?
I don't know why.
Was that the intended result?
You know, that's a cool result.
It hits
I mean-
it hits people different.
Yeah.
Well, once again, I don't really see things like you do. I look at it and think, yeah, God, I really shine. That's really awesome.
Let it shine.
I don't get the deeper elements.
You don't see like a guy breaking a window, to let the light in. You're breaking up his seeing to let the light in.
No, that's true. You can't be
Nice, man.
You can't be Salt and Light standing behind a tinted window.
Yeah, Dan.
What we should do is just make a music video out of it and you just like slow motion breaking
through a
stuff,
stained glass
man.
window.
Like,
Yeah.
like chair through the
Like
window.
a face would be all
slow-mo.
contorted.
There's a guy on on heroin or something sitting next to his.
Why does he have to be on heroin?
Wait on it. All right. So okay. So he's on it.
So he's sitting there mainlining
Just
acid.
wait. And he's it's in the dark. It's kind of like got a greenish, darkish tint to it, and all of a sudden it says "Let it shine," and then the window breaks open and the light hits him, and he's like, ah, and now the light is into his world.
And then he breaks the window.
I don't understand why he's got to be on heroin.
Couldn't it be some
John 1, read it.
Can it be some dude in a suit with a big, huge King James Bible who then throws it through a stained glass window? Like,
Nice.
Let the God thing happen, you know?
Oh, it's a
Let the
double
God thing
entendre.
happen.
He's busting on religion.
T-shirt right there, man.
There you go. See? I'm the marketer. I'm not
Dan,
the
you
nice
should be the
guy.
heroin addict. or a homeboy.
I got it going.
What's my motivation in this scene?
How long have I been on this junk? Does this haircut say heroin addict to you?
I'm gonna channel that one time I thought I had 3 pastries, but I only had 2. I was kind of like the same thing.
Just like it.
Remember when I had full strength cream soda? Oh man.
I love this. I love this music video.
Hey, have you guys ever done a music video?
We're actually going to be working on one within the next 3 weeks. We don't have any shows for the next 3 weeks, so we're going to work on our show. We're putting a new show together. We're actually.
Do you need a
making
fog
it more
machine?
Like we got some.
Dang.
Yeah, we got to where like our music really never stops, and like one kind of song flows into another. We're writing musical transitions from one to another.
Oh, yeah.
We're putting together a trash can routine. We're all drummers, so we do trash can routine, and we all play everything. So we're gonna part of our sets to where each one of us moves to the different instruments, and then we end up back on our originals. And anyway, it's just kind of flow. So. hopefully have that within 3 weeks. So
Can
Hard work.
I say a couple things?
yeah,
Okay, one, the nonstop music thing is awesome.
yeah,
Like,
because nobody comes to a
that's-
concert to listen to them talk.
That's the difference between a bar show and like a mid-level concert venue, right?
People don't like talking, huh?
No.
We're in the wrong business, Mike. We got to get on this radio thing.
Let it shit.
Talking's on the way out.
So that's cool. I think you should run that trash can thing through somebody. Let somebody wash it 1st. Have you someone seen it?
Oh, we have yet to write it. I did. It's like a stomp.
Mike's not sold.
It's like a stomp style type thing.
I think it's gonna be cool.
We wrote it. We did one for our church's Easter play, and it was really tight, and a lot of people were like, "Man, that was powerful."
Yeah, Ben
So-
says good
so
stuff
we're
to
working on
everybody.
A lot of people broke windows after it.
Yeah, dude.
This is awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna get like a worship dubstep thing going on. And,
Oh,
and
Nathaniel would love that
yeah.
jazz. You know they're going to do a Christian rave at the Spirit Midwest this year?
Yeah, they got like a DJ coming in from Indiana.
That's
Okay,
the only
you're-
place you
with-
can
with some
find
people
one.
teaching
I'll be
dance.
there.
Can't do that.
Hey, me and Dan are totally going to go.
I'm gonna need to borrow a shirt from Dan.
I'm going to get my nipplies all ready.
I'm sorry. Hold on a second. What do you think goes on at a rave? I feel like you might misunderstand the concept.
Isn't there nipples involved? Don't people do this? Why doing a fancy dance? That's not what happens. Like a jogger?
I'm aghast. We gotta stop broadcasting video.
I've never been to a rave.
Obviously not. I got the lanolin. What are we doing?
I wore my stocking hat. Anyway, so that what was my.
I really don't know what goes on at a rave.
What was my
though.
third thing? No, the trash can thing sounds sweet. And what else did I say? Nonstop music, that's cool.
Yeah, 'cause
I remember. Can we cameo in your video?
yeah. dude,
I don't
that'd be
accept
really
no for an answer. We're gonna show up. Just
Yeah.
tell me when it is.
Okay.
We'd like to show up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
We'd like to be in 3 separate scenes, not all together.
Okay.
I don't work with Mike
feel
outside
like-
of the building.
I feel like the
I don't need a
brand-
trailer.
I feel like that nipple thing was enough to make it clear that we don't associate outside of these walls.
I said dubstep.
You can throw them out.
Put that on the compilation. It's a keeper.
Actually, that is a keeper. That's gonna make the 3-year. Hey, you guys can do another race.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm excited for Spirit Midwest this year. We're gonna have a motorhome. I secured it this week.
Yeah.
I did a double check to make sure we can
St.
have it.
Charles this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic.
So, okay, so here's the deal: we're going all out at this deal. We're gonna try to be able to wirelessly broadcast all 3 stages at any point in time, because we got in a real pickle last year. We were like recording and running files back and
Yeah.
forth. So we're gonna give this a shot. The problem though is they don't have any internet out there. That's the real downfall of our internet broadcast. No internet.
That'll make things difficult.
It's gonna be weird. We're gonna work it out.
All right, I'm excited for it either way.
All right.
We'll
Either
do
way,
Olympic-
we should put a large satellite on top of the RV.
Just
to
so
make
it looks
look
like
it.
we're doing
People are throwing
It'll be
those
fake.
dishes out all the time. We should get 3 or 4. It'll make it
Plus,
look like
the
we're prime
bandwidth
time.
you guys would require would be pretty intense, I imagine, huh?
Yeah.
Three simultaneously. So it's not like one of those Verizon hotspots isn't gonna work yet.
Oh no. It's the upload that's the problem. And frankly, we got an antenna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna antenna. We'll RF all the stages, but the internet feed upload is what kills us.
Yeah.
And so the MiFi ain't gonna do it. We need a bad beast internet connection.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hard disk record and then send Guy to like run it back to the studio and fire it up. We'll broadcast on a 2-hour delay,
All right,
That's not a bad
like
idea.
full style Olympic coverage.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We need a
If
theme.
you want to if you want to be there, be there. You know.
Yeah,
Support the people.
I agree.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to wait 2 hours.
Yeah.
I
Take
think.
that.
So all the good fans are there.
Okay, this is a good idea.
We'll have to have a scene with us by the fireplace talking about the events of the day.
we really do need
Like-
to do that.
I got
like the
I totally got a
Olympics.
fire pit. We're gonna need some furniture. We have to talk about our stage setup. It was pretty cool last year. We're gonna have to
We gotta raise the bar.
we gotta tip it up a notch.
Okay, all right.
I say we talk to homemakers.
You think they'd? We've never tried to get into the delve into sponsoring. Maybe we should try to get someone to sponsor us. All right, Ben, go ahead.
I'll talk about it. Okay. All right, you're listening to Live from the Path. We are in studio with Saved on Sunday. You can find more information about them by going savedonsundayband.com. Also, go to Facebook and do a search for them. Now, here's the deal. If you can't find Saved on Sunday on the Facebook, if you go to the Live from the Path page and you look what we like Saved on Sunday. So there you can find it that way if you need to. So go check it out. Make sure you like them. Give them some love. Check them. Make sure you go to that website and see where they're going to be at and go support them. Here's the deal. The more that
It's getting angry.
I am, I get a little bit irritated because people complain about not being able to go see Christian acts, and there are a lot of people working very hard to put Christian acts out there. I mean,
He's got the knife.
the Green Grounds.
He's knifing it.
I am knifing it. The Green Grounds is having shows. I mean, there's festivals all over the place.
Yeah.
Spirit Midwest is out there. The Bash on the Farm. The Prairie. What was it? Promised Land Fest.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of places that are having bands. People don't show.
No, they don't.
People don't show.
I know a lot of Christian bands that are just like, man, I can't do it anymore. They no support, so it's really tough. I don't know what's with Iowa, but it's really like pulling teeth getting people to come to a show.
I think it's the music scene in general. I think
Yeah.
it's like pulling teeth to try to get people to come out. I mean, the bars are like that. People they'll listen to karaoke.
Yeah.
Or DJ above a live band. It's pulling teeth to get people out and enjoy music anyway. I think Christian music is problematic to a certain extent because people don't know what to do with it. People want to go out and have a good time, and they think they're getting into what otherwise would be a worship service. And for some people, those two things aren't compatible.
That's why we're having a rave.
That's why we're doing a rave.
Dubstep. I know kids.
But I think I still understand. I don't think. First of all, I don't think people are. I think people have categorized it as something. I think they're not.
They think every live show they go to is going to be Amy Grant, and that's not the deal.
Yeah.
Ugh,
That is not the
thank God.
Yeah, or it's a worship set.
Yeah.
And they have people categorize church as church on Sunday, and that's when it happens, and they don't venture out. I mean, that's one of the things we said this a lot. Like one of the things that amazes me about us having started this show is that I had no idea. I had no idea how many people.
I thought there were no Christian music.
Yeah,
I didn't know anybody played Christian tunes.
yeah. Like people writing original Christian music within 5 miles of our building.
There's
I had
a million
No
of them.
clue. And so I don't know. I don't know what you
They're
do
like
about that.
cockroaches. There's that many. I mean, you got to step on some. There's too many. No wonder we can't get a show together.
So anyway, go out. Just check them out. I mean, you're sitting on your butt right now. Write one in, pencil it in, put it in your phone so it reminds you 2 hours beforehand. Says you're going to this show, and then commit to it and go out and give these guys some love. They're working hard for the Lord. They're trying to get His message out, and they're doing it for very cheap. I might add.
Oh,
No
yeah.
offense, fellas. I mean, I'm sure you're pulling some good bank at some point, but for the most part, you're really beating the streets.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
It
Lift
happens.
us up, people.
That's what I'm saying.
Turn on the light. Watch them scatter.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sticking with that cockroach analogy.
What do you guys? You guys got more tunes?
Oh, we can.
What do you got? It's up to you. I got stuff we can talk about, or do you want to whip one out? I tell you what, I'll give you a minute. We're going to talk about this. Let's talk about this Christian TV business.
Oh yeah.
All right, so there's a study out. Hold on, I gotta pull it.
Only you.
And there's like a lot of channels now that didn't used to be like one, and I got like 6 or 7 I think blocked on my TV because
You know, someone gave me a Christian comedy tour CD.
like a CD, yeah.
And it was not funny.
I've never gone to see a Christian.
Have you seen
comic.
Thou Shalt Laugh?
No.
That's a good Christian comedy DVD. It's
Yeah.
really, really good.
I mean, what is it? Like, is it Christian just because they're not swearing? I mean, because sometimes you see a good comedy.
No,
you're
it's
like,
Christian
"Ah,
based."
did you have to do that? You know.
Yeah.
But
There's some good.
you
There's
hear
some
one- the
good
one
like.
Noah went into a bar, and then his daughter saw him. Or I mean,
A lot of stuff they do is
That
like
would be distasteful.
is
Well, I don't know what's Christian comedy.
they really expand on like awkward church situations. Like if you're really
Oh, okay,
familiar
yeah.
with church, like
I don't
you
know
know.
any awkward
Like-
situations.
like this one guy, he does this bit. He'd be like, "Does anybody know anybody who might be a little bit oversaved?" And he goes on to this thing, and it was a really good skit, and it's really edgy, but he pulls it off really well. So.
Who you know?
I
I
loved
think,
it.
I think it was Sean that put a picture out on Facebook this week about the amateur and professional worship guys, like how you can tell the difference between the people in the crowd. Like the amateurs are like the finger in and the swing, you know, and then you get to be the people who've known Jesus for a little while, and they start to do the baby cradle. And then you finally get the guys who are like professional worshipers, and they're doing the knife hold and the I give up, the fugitive they call it. You know, it was pretty funny.
I didn't see that.
Here we go. Chief executive of DoersTV.com, Pastor David Wright, has polled his channel's more than 100,000 Facebook fans to find out what they think of Christian TV, and he was more than a little surprised by the results. Wright was shocked to discover that the vast majority said they hate Christian TV and do not watch it. He said that 90% of the feedback to his poll was negative. Comments in the response post indicate several major turnoffs when it comes to Christian TV. Mike, what do you think they are?
Big hair. I'm not Mike.
not entertaining.
Yeah, boring and lack of quality programming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugly people.
No ugliness. No 10 years behind the fashion trend. Nope. It's not on there.
None of those are on there.
Cold chairs.
I got 3 more, guys. You got 1.
Not culturally relevant.
Nope.
All they ask for is money.
Yes, too much begging for money and fundraising telethons. Good. Two more focusing on the content itself.
So they don't really talk about anything. They just.
So here were the 4. Here we go. Too much begging for money and fundraising telethons. 2, false prosperity teachers manipulating people for offerings. Basically, was the same as number 1. 3, boring and lack of quality programming. And 4, lack of integrity of Christian leaders being broadcast. Wright said he was flabbergasted by. Actually, that goes to something we were talking about the Arendelle show about hypocrisy in the pulpit. People don't trust you. They don't trust the things that you believe in, and God doesn't suffer, but you suffer in your relationship with Christ because of it. So Wright said he was flabbergasted by the responses. I kind of expected there would be those Christians who thought Christian TV was too boring or not relevant for the times, but I never would have imagined the disdain thousands of Christians have for Christian TV. Unfortunately, the greed for money has replaced the need for ministry among many of our ministers and Christian TV networks. People are fed up with the lust for material things. He added that a lack of integrity among pastors and leaders of today has played a major role in the negative perception of Christian TV. We can't have pastors indulging in sin and expect people not to be turned off, he said. So
does he have a like an age group with him? Is it like anybody under
What's the
60?
indulging in sin that he's referring to? The pastor's indulging in sin.
yeah, he didn't say.
I would assume it's the high-profile megachurch pastors that just keep busted for random stuff, like that guy that just got busted for whatever.
the Creflo Dollar.
Yeah,
What Creflo get? I really liked his program actually. What happened with him?
They say he assaulted his daughter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
He did what?
he
Assaulted his
He
daughter?
assaulted her. Like, oh well, like it was a teenager dad disargument, and apparently he crossed the line. He did some choking and some slamming, and maybe he might have spanked her. She's like 15.
Maybe he should have stoned
Yeah.
her.
What define assault though? Because
Assault-
they get on people for whipping their kids anymore. Which there's a line of what is appropriate and what is not. But I can see where some media guy would just run off with Creflo, whipped his kid. Oh, he's beating her.
Creflo was said to do the prosperity gospel.
Okay.
I don't know who he is.
I like Creflo. I like his stuff.
I can't.
I haven't even seen him.
I don't watch this stuff.
Why?
I don't
Maybe
like
you
it.
could learn a thing or two.
I like Creflo. I like Jesse Duplantis.
Don't know.
You don't know Jesse Duplantis?
Dude, I gave up with like Robert Tilton and said, really?
Yeah, you gave up too soon.
I used to watch him for fun.
Mike Murdoch. Big Murdoch fan.
Yeah, anyway.
I guess I watch more than I think.
I love it.
You're the only guy keeping God TV in business.
Well, okay, so I guess real quickly then, based upon the reaction, so these are people that were fans of this guy's channel, like on Facebook, but hated the channel basically.
Hey.
It was like a Jesus thumbs up. As soon as you come by, they're like, "Oh, I love Jesus. All right, I love anything you do." So I mean, what's the problem? What do you do? If those are the reactions, I mean, you could say we're only going to get vouch-worthy people in the pulpit. Good luck, man. Follow the world. Someone's going to screw up. What are you going to do? They got to. And here's the deal. And here's the telethons turn me off. A lot of them do need money. I mean, you got to pay for the channel.
Maybe you should just go ahead and make him commercial.
Yeah,
I mean, we watch
sell some
commercials with everything
advertising.
else. And
Well, but I mean,
of course, you can't make millions that way though. These guys they bring in some solid cash.
Yeah, that's true. Some of them do.
It's unlimited.
Yeah.
You two are at the right time, and that old lady's like, "Oh, that's my $49. It's yours."
all right, Duplantis, just take it and do good with it. I've seen that. There's good. I don't know. I think there's probably a way. It depends. Like they probably hire like non-Christian executives to run the thing, and they know marketing. They know what's going to make money, and they know that they can't make it with the program offerings that people are asking for, that Christians are asking.
You find the quote talent that will do it for nothing, and say, "By the way, you're not getting paid."
I feel like Christian TV could make a lot more money just finding people who are doing it and just recording it, like not paying them to be on the channel or saying, "Hey, we'll build you a stage," but just like maybe even a more reality-based thing, like finding groups of Christians that are actually doing things. You know what I'm saying? That are starting programs or that are preaching the gospel and just say, "Look, we'll just bring a couple cameras."
I mean,
Yeah.
you actually make some more like History Channel's got Ice Road Truckers. Pawn Stars, people doing interesting things. It seems like Christian TV is just like this guy preaching, this guy preaching, telethon.
Yeah.
I mean, come up with some programming that's interesting.
Kind of a
and
Jay Leno type thing. Telephone Joe.
Yeah, why
You hear
not?
about
Why not
Noah
have
going into the bar?
There's all kinds of Christians doing cool stuff.
Yeah, and actually, even from a historical perspective, like you could do, I'd like to watch, some histories of some of the guy Tyndale. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
people,
Livingstone and
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be interesting to
Biography.
watch. I'd watch that stuff.
Jesus, by
see, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, and look how much like the
Let's start a channel.
Let's do
National
our own
Geographic
network.
does like the
What are we
Shroud
waiting
of
for?
Turin and the Last Footsteps of Jesus all around Easter. We could the Christian channel could dominate that market. People are really interested in that kind of stuff.
Actually promote Christian music.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's the problem is, and you can totally see how this works, is when they have these variety shows, whatever it is, whatever they're doing, and they ask for money, and something works, they'll do it again. If they have a tip, let's just say all of a sudden we one day said, hey man, we could really use some money, and we got like 40 grand. We'd go back and watch that show again and say, what did we do? And we'd do it again.
Yeah.
Because the week before we got nothing. And pretty soon it becomes, hey, every time we say we could really use cash, X number of people write a check.
Yeah.
And every time I tell a story about a little boy who, needs a new pair of pants, I get more money. And if I show a face with a fly on it, they figure this stuff out, and pretty soon each chart just evolves into what started was probably out of integrity and out of a God's heart for God, becomes, I could build a bigger house,
Yeah.
and I could have another boat and my own island,
Yeah.
and because a lot of these guys
and my own
multiple
island.
mansions,
Or and I think some of that even is you can get kind of suckered into this thing where you're like, I can reach more people. I can bigger.
Well, you can tell yourself
you become
that.
the once-ler, right? Like, I'm biggering and biggering. I'm getting more of my folks.
The once
Put a salary cap on it. Okay, let them live. Let them make a living. That's okay. But put a salary cap on it and say, we don't care what you're doing. Everything goes to Jesus, not to you.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, think of it. Like, there's a ton of churches that are podcasting anyway. I mean, they're videotaping the thing
for free.
Yeah, I can go watch it online. What makes me want to go watch it on TV? Except is there something that draws that in? I mean, here's a solid Bible teaching is cool, but like it becomes, when you're fighting for ratings, it becomes a personality thing, and that becomes problematic because your measure of success. TV is a tough venue because you're there and you're preaching God's word, and then from a keep the network open and running perspective, you have to try to measure what success is, and you don't really have good feedback as to whether people are coming to know Christ better for having watched this guy on TV. So then what do you got to do? What's creating something, some sort of movement, good or bad? Who's putting on a better show? And TV is a difficult venue like that because part of it is people have to have a reason to keep the thing on. And if it's not drawing them in that way, you have to find other ways to draw them in. And I think it's tough because it's like, if I'm going to go into ministry and I want to be on the TV and I want to be successful, there's certain ways for me to look successful doing a TV program, but the question is ultimately, is it turning into success? Churches are just as guilty of that. Take away
Absolutely.
the TV. It comes to some of the secret stuff. You're like, I want to draw people in, and you absolutely do. But like, are you feeding them candy so that they'll come in, and then like you never transition them from Paul's perspective from the milk? You know what I'm saying? You give them the milk, and then you never move them on. And so is that really a
Christians in
success?
America.
Well,
exactly.
But that's the truth too, right? Because that's how you have Jesse Duplantis, Robert Schuller, and Joel Osteen all on TV at the same time. None of those three guys are the same guy. Like Robert Schuller's boring, like Crystal Cathedral Man. You know what I'm saying? Like compared to Osteen and Duplantis. Duplantis is a fiery man.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I mean, he's got some fire action to him, right? But like, so I guess that's the kind of deal that's Duplantis has got a big personality. Schuller doesn't. So how's he still there? That's what I'm asking. Like if the
It's a different
personality
generation. He was
Schuller's
trapped.
familiarity. Like,
I'm guessing the age demographic for Christian networking is probably 60 plus.
Yeah.
The majority of it.
I would think so.
piling in for the final exam, I guess.
And mothers with unsleeping babies.
Which is a problem because their target viewership is dying.
And that's where they're getting their cash.
Yeah. So I mean, if we get some hip, younger network type
Let's do it.
stuff, that'd be awesome.
Why can't Des Moines be the
cool.
center of the new Christian broadcast?
Make a movement, man.
Let's do it.
We don't have the Holy Land experience.
That's we don't need it. Oh, see, that's a perfect example.
I feel like that's the
Out
second
of
thing Dan has
Orlando.
agreed to. What did you agree to earlier? Let's do it.
He was going to be that heroin guy.
Oh yeah, the heroin man.
You always got to have one.
That's how I relate to the youth.
You're listening to Live from the Path. We're in studio with Saved on Sunday. You can find more information about them at savedonsundayBand.com. Hey, also go out to the Incredible Pizza and vote for them to open for Remedy Drive.
I heard you're voting for Double J.
I didn't vote.
Yeah, you did.
I'm gonna pick a bone right now. He told me this earlier.
Yeah.
He's like, I told him to go vote, and I'd give him $20, and he's like, shoot, man,
Is that
I'd
when
do
you
it
were
for
on
a
my
Kit Kat or something.
Is that
like
when you were on my Facebook?
Yeah.
You turd.
I was under Ben's Facebook at the Arendelle show, and Double J says, "Hey, you vote for me on the thing." I'm like, for $20. I said, "I'd do it for Milk Duds."
Yeah.
and so I did it under Ben's Facebook, so make him look like he's picking sides.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It was funny. Ryan McMahon called me this afternoon. He's like, we played with Remedy Drive last night, and I was talking to the guys, and he's like, they're putting on a contest for a band to open for you guys, and I guess they thought that was really funny because they don't see themselves as like a band that's like,
Big to open for.
Yeah. So anyway, they thought that they got a kick out of that, but I guess Remedy Drive is voting for us, is what they told Ryan.
Sweet.
So that's pretty cool.
That is cool. What if they lose? They'll be mad.
Yeah. So anyway, go ahead and hit that. That's right on the Incredible Pizza website.
Yeah,
right?
just go there. You can go to our page, and there's Nathaniel posts links about it all the time. So you can vote. That would help us. You can vote every 24 hours.
All right.
And hook us up.
Well, I'll vote for both then. And I'd expect my Milk Duds on Tuesday from
Bada bing,
everybody.
bada boom.
All right, I tell you what. Let's
jam again.
You guys
man.
got one? Yeah.
No. Let's all jam
okay.
again.
All right. Let's cut this thing out with the Live from the Past blues action. Let me get it up and ready to go.
Switcheroo, you want that? You want be more elevated?
You sit on that thing? Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, hey, for you guys that are hanging out on the chat, thanks for hanging out with us at Live from the Path. We're going to do a little bit of Live from the Past blues action to send you out. We will see you next week. Sanctified's going to be in the studio. Mike, yes? Sanctified's in?
Yeah. Yeah, as far as I know.
Okay, sweet. Sanctified's in. And then the following week, Sean Covington's going to be in the studio. I got tons of cool stuff going on.
Double J's going to come in.
And Double J's going to be a...
2XJ.
Yeah.
Oh, check out the video Double J and I made together on Facebook today. It's epic.
I love it. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I'll check it out later.
Get on Facebook.
Okay.
It's legit. I end up with a gun and a knife. Oh, this mic's going to be crazy, isn't it? It's all good, man. We'll
All right.
jam.
All right, let's do this thing.
I'm ready.
basement.